Hello students, welcome to our channel Infinity Scholars Hub. In today's video, we are going to discuss a topic of class 8, which is the chapter number 8, comparing quantities. So, what do we mean by comparing quantities? Generally, over here, we are going to compare two different quantities, like you are comparing a height with a height, if you are comparing the two weights, if you are comparing the two distance. So basically we are going to compare over here. So let's see what are the subtopics in this chapter and let us understand each and every subtopic of this chapter. Okay, so first of all, as we see over here in the introduction part, there are few topics mentioned. The first one is ratio and proportion. Okay, then the next topic is unitary method. Then you have percentage, you have selling price, cost price, and finally you have compound interest. Now see, when you talk about ratio and proportion, what we are doing over here, we are actually comparing the two quantities. Okay, see, there are two ways of comparing. One is comparison by subtraction and the other one is comparison by division. So basically the comparison by division is called what? It is called ratio. Now let's see an example of comparison by subtraction. Let's say there are two boys in a class named Rahul and Rohan, right? So Rahul has scored 30 marks out of 50 and Rohan has scored 40 marks out of 50. Okay, so what can we say over here? We can say that Rohan has scored 10 marks more than Rahul. Okay, or we can even say this as Rahul has scored 10 marks less than Rohan, right? So basically over here what we are doing, we are comparing the marks of these two students by the means of subtraction, right? One of them have got 40 and the other one have got 30. So that means there is a difference of 10. Okay, so you can say in the sense 10 marks more or you can say 10 marks less. Okay, fine. Now when we talk about comparison by division, let's say if I say that the speed of cheetah is 6 times the speed of a man. Okay, so when I say this, actually I am using ratio over here. So let me write speed of cheetah. Speed of cheetah is 6 times the speed of man or speed of human. Okay, now when I see, I can send this on the other side, and on doing that, what will I get? I will get speed of cheetah upon the speed of man, speed of man or human, which will be equal to, I have only 6 over here, that means this is 6 upon 1. So the ratio of the speed of cheetah to the speed of human is what? It is 6:1. Okay, we can read it as 6:1 or we can also say it is 6:1. Okay, so this is what ratio means. Okay, now see, what is proportion? Now when you have two ratios which are equal, okay, then we say that the two ratios are in proportion, and the sign of proportion is you have 4 dots in between. Let's say over here you have ratio 2:3, over here also it is 2:3. Since the two ratios are same, we say that they are in proportion. Talking about unitary method, in unitary method what do? We find the price. Let's say if you are finding out the price, so we are finding out the price of one quantity, okay, and depending upon that the price of n number of quantities can be found out. Okay, so when we talk about unitary method, there are two things which comes into play. One is direct variation, okay, and the other one is inverse variation. When I talk about direct variation, the example of direct variations are what? Let's say if the speed of a vehicle is 50 kilometers per hour, okay, so it will cover a distance of say 1 hour, right? If I am saying the speed is 50 kilometers per hour, that means that particular vehicle is covering 50 kilometers in 1 hour. On the other hand, there's another vehicle which is covering rather than covering, the speed of the second vehicle is 70 kilometers per hour. Okay, so over here we can see that if the speed is more, the distance covered will be more, right? The first vehicle will be covering 50 kilometers in 1 hour, but the other vehicle will be covering 70 kilometers in 1 hour. So as the speed increased, the distance covered also increased, right? Okay, now let's take another example. If I tell you to go and buy sugar for me, right? So you go and take 1 kg of sugar, which will cost you around say 50 rupees. Okay, so the price of 1 kg is what? It is 50 rupees. And if you calculate the price of 500 grams of sugar, so it will be the half of 50, that is 25 rupees. So over here what do you see? You see that when you decrease the quantity of sugar, the cost of sugar also decreased. Okay, so on decrease in one quantity, the other quantity is also decreased. So this is an example of direct variation, where increase in one quantity causes increasing in the other quantity, or decrease in the first quantity causes the decrease in the other quantity. Fine. Now let's see an example of inverse proportion, or you can say inverse variation. So inverse variation, the example is, say a particular task has to be done. Okay, so let's say first of all I send 5 people to complete that work. Okay, so 5 people have gone and they are doing that work. So over here the time taken is, let's say the time taken is X. Now if I send 10 people, so don't you think that the work will get complete quickly, और it will get complete easily? ठीक है, जल्दी हो जाएगा काम, राइट? देखिए, अगर जब मैं कम आदमी को भेजूंगा तो उनको जो टाइम लगा रहेगा that will definitely be more जब मैं ज़्यादा आदमी भेजूंगा. ओके, सो जैसे नंबर ऑफ पीपल इंक्रीज्ड, वर्क जितने टाइम में कंप्लीट होना था दैट डिक्रीज्ड. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो कि जैसे ही मैं एक क्वांटिटी को इंक्रीज कर रहा हूँ, द अदर क्वांटिटी इज डिक्रीजिंग. That means when I am increasing the number of mans, the time required is decreasing. So this is an example of inverse variation. Inverse variation के अंदर what happens कि if one quantity decrease, the other increase, or vice versa. One quantity will increase, the other will decrease. Okay. Now talking about percentage, see, percentage means per 100, or you can say out of 100. Okay, we will discuss about it in the upcoming slides. Next you have selling price and cost price. We are very much aware about cost price and selling price, right? When we go and buy something, that's the selling price for that particular person who is selling it, right? Say if you are going to buy vegetables, so the tomatoes have costed you something around say 50 rupees per kg, right? So that is the selling price for that vegetable seller. Okay, on the other hand, if you are buying something and selling it to someone else, so the price at which you buy that particular thing, that is the cost price for you, and when you are selling it, that becomes the selling price. So that is what we are going to discuss in selling price and cost price. And finally we have compound interest. We have studied about simple interest in our lower grades. We will study about compound interest. Going on to the next slide now. See, basically we will read out a few important things about ratio. So ratio is a comparison of sizes of 2 or more quantities of the same kind by division. Yes, this is very much important, because see, whenever you are comparing, let's say you are comparing the two heights, you cannot compare a height with a weight. Okay, or you cannot compare length with let's say volume, right? Length, and you cannot compare volume. So the quantity which you are comparing should be same. Okay, so that is what is given in the first point. Now in the next point, if A and B are two quantities of same kind and the units are also same, this is also very much important. When you are comparing any two particular thing, the units should be same. Let's say you are comparing the height. The height of one person you have taken in meters, and the height of another person you have taken in centimeters. So you cannot compare this two. Okay, the unit of the quantity which you are taking should be the same. So the fraction a upon b is called the ratio of a to b. Thus the ratio a to b is a upon b, and it is written as a is to b. Okay, the quantities a and b are called the terms. Okay, so a and b, they are called what? They are called terms. A is called the first term, or it is called the antecedent. Okay, and b is called the second term or the consequent. So a is called antecedent and b is called what? Consequent. Fine. Let's go on to the next slide then. Okay, now what do we see over here? See, usually a ratio is expressed in lowest terms, right? You might have seen ratios 2:3, then 4:7. All these are in simplest form, or you can say lowest terms. Lowest terms means what? See, 2:3 can be written as 2 upon 3. So there is no common factor in 2 upon 3 except 1. So we call this as the lowest form or the simplest form. Okay, fine. Now ratio exists only between quantities of same kind. Okay, like I said that you can compare only height and height, weight and weight. Okay, likewise a ratio is a number, so it has no unit. We know that a ratio is a number, so it won't have unit. Like say if I am comparing height, a height of one child is 100 centimeter and the height of other child is 80 centimeters. So your units are also like your numbers, right? So you can cancel out this centimeter and centimeter, so you will be left with only numbers. So basically a ratio is a number, so it has no unit. Fine. And finally, if the terms of a ratio are in fraction, we can convert them into natural numbers by multiplying each term by the LCM of the denominators. Now see, what does this means? If I have two ratios, 2/3 is to 4/5. So in this case, what will I do? I will take out the LCM of the denominators. So the LCM over here will be 15. Now this 15 will get multiplied with each terms of the ratio. So 15 I have to multiply with 2/3. So 2/3 multiplied by 15. So 3 ones are 3 5s are. So 2 5s will become 10. Is to again 4/5 into 15. So 5 ones are and 5 3s are. So it will be 12. Okay. So the ratio is 10:12. Now if you want to reduce this into lowest form, so this will be 5:6. So this is the actual ratio. So whenever a fraction is given in a ratio, you can convert them into the ratio by finding out the denominators, by finding out the LCM of the denominators. Okay. Now let's go on to the next topic. We have unitary method. See, in unitary method, what do? We find out the quantity of one thing. Like say for example, 5 books costs 500 rupees. Okay, so find the cost of 20 such books. Okay, now this statement works as a key statement. Okay, so 5 books cost 500 rupees. So we will find out the price of one book first. So for that, if you want to make this 5 books into one book, right, 5 books, you want to make this into one book, so you can divide it with 5, right? So since you have divided this with 5, the cost will also be divided by 5. Okay, so that means 5 ones are and 5 ones are. So one book. So one book will cost how much? 500 divided by 5 will give you 100 rupees. So one book will cost 100 rupees, right? Now see, you have to find out the cost of 20 such books. That means 20 books you have to find out. Now we have one book over here. If you want to make this one book into 20, you will multiply by 20, right? So the cost also will multiply by 20. So 1 into 20 will give you 20 books, and 20 into 100 will give you 2000 rupees. So the cost of 20 books is how much? It is 2000 rupees. So this is a very easy way to solve unitary method. Fine. Let's go on the next topic then. Okay. Now see, we have percentage. See, I will give you a brief idea about percentage. See, anything written upon 100 can be written in percentage. For example, if I write 2 upon 100, so this is what? 2%, right? So the word percent means per 100. or out of 100. So percent is denoted by the symbol percentage, like we have used over here. This is the symbol of percentage. Then see, 76% when I write, what does it means? It means 76 out of 100. So it will be 76 upon 100. Similarly, 39.4 percentage will mean what? Will mean 39.4 upon 100. So the symbol percentage stands for 100. So it is 1 upon 100. Or simply, if you want to if you want to know, say if it is given 4 percentage, so this will be what? This will be 4 upon 100. So this percentage sign basically gets converted into 100, which will be in the denominator. Now percentage is the numerator of a fraction with denominator 100. In the fraction r upon 100, percentage is equals to r. It is written as r percentage, right? So this is the basic idea of percentage. Okay. Now see, whenever you are writing anything in percentage, basically what do we do? Instead of directly writing the amount, we use percentage, right? So we consider the whole quantity which is given as percentage, okay, and then find the percentage out of it. Say for example, if a person gets 560 marks, he gets 560 marks out of 700 marks, okay. So this 700 marks is your whole quantity, right? The total marks is what? 700. So what we are doing, we are considering this 7 marks as 100 percentage, right? So if your 700 marks is 100 percentage, then 560 marks means how many percentage? So 560 marks means you will write x percentage. Now you can cross multiply this, okay. So you will see it will be x multiplied by 700 equal to 560 multiplied by 100. So this will be x percentage will be equal to what? Will be equal to 560 multiplied by 100 whole divided by 700. Let me just choose some other color. Okay. So it will be 700, right? So the 2 zeros and this 2 zeros gets cancelled out. 7 ones are 7 80s are. So that means a person who has scored 560 marks, we say that he has scored 80 percentage, right? So this is how we do percentage. Fine, let's move on to the next topic then. Okay, next we have profit and loss. Now see, we have known about profit and loss since our childhood, like, right? We all know what is the meaning of profit and what is the meaning of loss, right? Say if you buy something for 10 rupees and if you are selling it for 15 rupees, so definitely you are making a profit over there, right? On the other hand, if a particular person buys something at 50 rupees and he sells it at 45 rupees, so over here he is making a loss, right? So this is basically what? Profit and loss, okay. Based on your selling price and cost price, you can say whether a particular person is making a profit or a loss, right? So cost price, the price at which you buy something, that is cost price. Selling price is what? The price at which you sell that particular product, that is the selling price. Profit, whenever your selling price is greater than cost price, that means you have made a profit. Whenever your selling price is less than the cost price, that means you have made a loss. Then mark price or list price. See, you all might be going to shopping malls and you might see the tags on different clothes where the amount is written, whether the price, you can say the price of that particular product is written. So that is called list price, or you even say that as mark price, okay. And discount is something which we apply on mark price or list price. So we come to know what is the discount. Say for example, if a jeans, if the price of a jeans is 1700 rupees and the discount given is 5%, okay, the discount is 5%. So we will first calculate 5% means how much rupees that is, okay. So we will find out 5% of 1700. So 5 upon 100 multiplied by 1700. So that means 17 into 5. So it will be 85 rupees. So that particular you can say mall or that particular shop is giving a discount of how many rupees? 85 rupees. Now you might be wondering, why did I did 5 upon 100 into 700? So in this see, when they wrote 5%, so they considered some value as 100%, okay, and that value was this, the mark price. So when they write 5%, that means 5% of the mark price. And how did they do this? They considered this as 100%. So they found out, like they told that we'll give a discount of 5%. So that will be 85 rupees. So when you subtract 85 rupees from 1700, you will get 1615, right? Plus 85 will be 20. Yes, correct. So the jeans will cost you this many rupees. Okay, so in this particular video we will be discussing only up till here. I hope you all have understood each and everything we have discussed in this. If you want a detail about any of this topic, you can post your comments and we'll make a video on it. Thank you.